This video is sponsored by Recharge. 0% stated charge and turtle mode. What's the range? It's not gonna tell me. We still have 11 kilometers to go till we're back at a starting point. Will we make it? Hey guys, Chris here, and welcome to the long trip test in the Hyundai Ioniq 5 long range all-wheel drive with the new 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack. So today we're going to find out how this car will fare on a long trip that is 610 kilometers. How far will we go before we have to stop and charge? What will the charger vacancy be? Will we have any issues with chargers not working? Since it's cold outside, will we get optimal charging speed from this Ioniq 5? This new version has, preheating via the navigation system. Will we be even able to find the chargers in this navigation system? There are so many things that are going to be answered in today's video. So guys, we're now at 100%. We're going to disconnect now, and I'll see you guys on the road. If you're wondering, yes, this is still the same test as the Norwegian high-speed run, but I've decided to just call it the long trip test in whatever car I'm testing because that is more befitting to what we actually do. I mean, when I started doing this test and I called it the Norwegian high-speed run, it sounded kind of cool, made kind of sense, but since then I have so much more subscribers and viewers here, and instead of having to explain it every time at the beginning of the video and people commenting they don't understand the concept, which is, I do understand. If I don't explain it, how can people understand the concept? So from now on, this is the long trip test where we take an EV on a long trip, 610 kilometers, and explore, range, charging issues, charging strategy, and all of those things. And talking about charging strategy, another thing that we really put to the test in this video and in this test is the built-in navigation system in these EVs, which in my opinion is one of the most important tools while going on a long trip with an electric car. And in this Ioniq 5, it's not very good. So first off, I put in our destination, which is the train station in Kristiansand, 226 kilometers till we get there. And according to the car, we have 250 kilometers of range. So the car's saying we're probably gonna get there. And also, before I forget, guys, total consumption thus far, 23.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And we've been on the road for 45 minutes and covered 80 kilometers almost. But yeah, that consumption, not too bad. I mean, the weather is pretty nice. We have dry roads now. We've had some damp and wet roads, but now we have dry roads, and also we should have a slight tailwind from the northwest of about 2 to 3 meters per second. So our consumption is maybe lower now than it will be later on in the video. But as I was saying, I was talking about the built-in navigation system. Most other cars would probably tell you you're going to arrive at your destination with low battery. Do you want to stop somewhere and charge along the way to arrive with more battery, or the car will just force you to charge somewhere along the way? This does not have, as far as I could find, route navigation with charging stops and a route planner, which is just really, really poor. I don't understand why they don't do that. And also, when I did my motorway range test earlier this week, I wasn't able to find any chargers almost. So that is going to be today's real challenge, is to see how accurate is this navigation system. Maybe we'll have a buffer of about 20 to 30 kilometers, make it all the way to Kristiansand without a problem. But if we're not able to do that, what will the car say? Will the car, tell us to stop and charge somewhere else? Probably not. It hasn't done that before. And also, if we try to find a charger, because what's essential with this car now in winter is 5 degrees Celsius outside, is preheating of the battery to be able to get that maximum peak charging speed of almost 240 kilowatts. So if we're not able to find a charger, that means we're not able to navigate to the charger, and that means the car doesn't know to preheat to go to that charger. And we may not experience, the full potential charging speed. And that is not a user error. I just want to get that out of the way. I'm an experienced EV driver. I've done 200,000 kilometers in the past 2 years in 50 different cars. And I've done this route 50 times in that time. So I know where to stop and charge, but this test really isn't for me. It's for the normal everyday user who wants to know how a car like this will fare on a long trip. And having things like that, like not being able to find a charger and then not being able to preheat. First off, the car doesn't tell you any of this. This is like you have to find out for yourself. Second off, if the car isn't able to do that, how the heck are you going to be able to get the peak charging speed when it's cold outside? So yeah, it's going to be an exciting video to see how all of this goes. Out of the tunnel and out to the beautiful weather. My God, it's so nice driving today. And like basically ever since like half an hour out of Oslo, it's been just dry roads, beautiful weather. And yeah, finally, usually when we come to Kristiansand in the south tip of Norway, the weather isn't as good as it is, you know, in Oslo. Well, it's the same weather in Oslo, but here is just dry and really nice. So we're heading to this intersection over here, and then we'll do a U-turn. This is our turnaround point. We are now in downtown Kristiansand, and checking the consumption, 21.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That is not bad at all. 8 degrees Celsius. We've actually seen 9 degrees Celsius today. And we've covered 305.5 kilometers. And we've been on the road for 3 hours and 7 minutes, and we have 10% battery left. We also got a warning that we have low battery. And we're actually navigated to the Ioniq station in Lillesand, which is 23.5 kilometers. And according to the car, we have 32 kilometers of range left. But maybe I want to go to a recharge starting station that is about 5-6 kilometers out of town here. I haven't been there before. But this navigation system is one of the worst because besides like Med and Ioniq, it can't find any other charging stations. It's so bad. I tried searching for the name of the station, the EX, where, you know, those recharge chargers are. I tried searching for, oh, there's a curb here. Yeah, we could do that. I tried, you know, searching for the address, the road. I even found the charging icon on the map, and it wouldn't let me press it to navigate to that charger. And then I tried to search for charging stations in, you know, in the vicinity, but it won't let you find charging stations that aren't. Look at this, guys. It's a Tesla Model S hearse. What? That's insane. I've never seen that before. Yeah, that is crazy. But yeah, you know, try to search for charging stations like close to where I am or close to my destination, but it will only let you search for like 15 kilometers out or like the top 30 list. So it's really limited, this navigation system, and it won't tell you know where to stop and charge. It's just hopeless. Or it will like show you if it's a DC or an HPC, but it won't actually show you like the speed of the charger, the vacancy of the chargers. Yeah, this navigation system really is a really bad Achilles heel of this car. I mean, it's like worse than an Achilles heel if there is one. Anything that's worse than an Achilles heel is really, really bad. And oh yeah, so let's see, we have 32 kilometers of range left, 22 kilometers to go. I think we're gonna go to the Ioniq charging station. I think we'll save this, you know, recharge charging station where they have 300 kilowatt chargers for another day. Yeah, and the day is beautiful. Coming out of the tunnel again. Yeah. So yeah, okay, we'll go another 22 kilometers, and I'll see you once we get to the Ioniq station in Lillesand. Okay, we have made it to the Ioniq charging station, which is right up here on our right side. Our exit is just a few hundred meters away, and even at 3% state of charge, no problem going 110 kilometers an hour, even when it is a little bit uphill here. And guys, also, I've navigated to this charging station, which was in the navigation system, so the car should preheat, but I have not gotten any preheat indicator, and that may be because the battery is up to temperature. That makes sense. It's 8 degrees Celsius outside. We've seen 9 degrees. I've been on the road for 3.5 hours. I mean, most cars with that outside temperature, driving on the motorway, 3.5 hours, 330 kilometers, should have a battery that is up to temperature. I mean, the battery should at least be 20 25, even 30 degrees Celsius, if not warmer. So that's probably why we're not getting, you know, a battery temp indicator or a battery preheating icon down there on the right side. I know a lot of people saw my last video, the 10 to 80% charging time and charging speed test, which people have a lot of like, yeah, opinions about what is what. But that being said, I mean, I'm gonna redo that test. But also, guys, that test was done to the T. I found a charging station in the navigation system, and I navigated to it. And I was also on the road for many, many hours prior to that. But okay, let's pull up to this charging station and check this out, guys. This is a Danish registered e-tron, Q4 e-tron, and check this out. In Denmark, they have such high taxes on all optional equipment that this is a brand new EV that's going to cost you like 60, 70,000 euros in any country, but it is on steel wheels with wheel caps, not even aluminum like alloy wheels, which is really, really funny and interesting. But okay, let's pull up to this charger. This should be working, and consumption still 21.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We're now connected, as you guys can see, 3% stated charge, and we are charging at 68 kilowatts. The car's estimating 29 minutes to go to 80%. This car should, under ideal conditions, do 10 to 80% in 18 minutes. Again, I haven't been able to see that even in summer with these cars, so hopefully the charging speed is slow, below 10%, and then it will pick up once we get into the teens. Once we hit 14%, the speed picked up to 123 to 125 kilowatts. So we're still not seeing that peak charging speed of 230, 240 kilowatts. But as I remember from, you know, tests I've done before, you know, when I got ideal conditions with this car, you know, the smaller battery pack, the old one, the 72.6 kilowatt hours, I think. This is the 77.4 kilowatt hours. That speed wasn't, you know, present before we were like into the 30s, almost 40% stated charge. So we're going to keep an eye out. I think, hopefully, crossing my fingers, we'll see even higher charging speeds at that percentage. There we go, 26%, and we're now at 195 kilowatts. I think we're still gonna climb a little bit more in speed. And guys, you know, if you saw my last video again, this shows you that no icon does not mean the battery is cold and not preheating. No icon while navigating to a destination just means that the battery is warm enough as it is now. And my hypothesis about what happened in my 10 to 80% charging time and charging speed test is that the battery was actually too warm. Thermal throttling means that the battery, the speed's going to throttle because there's too much heat in the battery. And yeah, this is an indication that that is actually what happened. And if you watch that video, you saw we actually got decent speed at the very start, and then it throttled. We wouldn't get that if the battery was cold. We would have seen the opposite, actually. I had enough, I'm burning up so hot I just break your chain. You can never stop what's building up inside of me. It's now 5 to 6 and it's still not pitch black outside yet. Yes, it is getting darker, the sun has set, but yeah, the days are just getting longer and longer for every day, and yeah, it's really nice, and especially with the weather we've had today, dry roads, but it is getting cold outside now, 3 degrees Celsius. So we are nearing Oslo. We have about 63 kilometers left, and according to the car, we only have 59 kilometers of range left. That just went into the minus because up until now, we had a little bit more range than the distance. We had a buffer about, I don't know, 20 kilometers when we started. And then as we get closer and closer, that buffer just closes and closes. And now we're actually in the minus. But we just entered the 100 zone. We've been in 120, 110 zone for a long time. So maybe this a little bit lower speed will actually help close that gap again. But I was really hoping that we could make it all the way to Oslo now without having to charge. And also, if you are new to, you know, this video format, at the very end of the video, we're going to look at the total consumption and also rank this car in a chart according to how much time we had to spend charging to be able to complete this trip. And as things are now, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too bad, even though we actually didn't get more than 195 kilowatts at the charging stop we actually had, but we actually had pretty decent charging speed. But I spoke to a guy in an Ioniq 5 who was charging right behind me. He actually approached me and he was like, what kind of charge speed are you getting? I'm like, yeah, I'm peaking at 195 now. And he was like, yeah, I've never seen that number before. He had the old model before the preheating update or something like that. But he said, like, even in summer, he only got like a peak of 170. So yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm the only guy or only person having issues with the Ioniq 5 and not, reaching that peak charging speed. But okay, guys, crossing my fingers that the next time I talk to you, I'm actually at the goal. 1% state of charge and 4 kilometers of range left with 14 kilometers to go, 13.9. Will we make it? I don't know, guys. 0% state of charge and turtle mode. What's the range? It's not going to tell me. We still have 11 kilometers to go till we're back at a starting point. Will we make it? We are now back at our starting point here at the Esso station back in Slependen, right outside of Oslo. And before we jump into the results and I show you guys and tell you how much time we spent charging to complete this trip, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, Recharge, the most awesome charge point operator in the Nordic countries and the biggest DC fast charging network in Norway, and over 4,000 charging points in Norway, Sweden, and Finland. They are awesome and they're absolutely a charge point operator you guys should be familiar with. So if you want to support the channel, there will be a link down below. Check out the map and find your closest Recharge charger. Okay, so you are here at the end of the video because you want to know the results. Before I give you guys the results and tell you, well, how much time we spent charging today to complete this test, give this video a thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, if you've liked this video so far. I really do appreciate it. It means a whole lot to me, so thank you very much. But okay, we arrived here in typical Chris Riva fashion with 0% battery and 0 kilometers of range left. But if you saw the intro of the video, you know that since we are here, we arrived here with basically nothing left on the tank. We weren't stranded alongside of the road and we didn't have to stop and charge anywhere along the way. Only one charging stop. We charged from 3 to 80%, and the plan was actually to do a small, quick charging stop somewhere along the way, but I was able to eke out that last bit of range out of this car. So for the results, the Ioniq 5 long range all-wheel drive with the new 77.4 kilowatt hour battery pack completed the long range test with only charging 31 minutes and also average consumption 21.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And you may think like, it's not the best of results, and it's not, but it is pretty darn good, especially if you look at this car a year and a half ago when it came out with the smaller battery pack, because we did this test with colder temperatures. Yes, okay, it was a little bit of rain that day. We had a little bit of wet roads today, so kind of comparable, but much colder temperatures today. Much colder, about more than 10 degrees colder. So yeah, really, really impressive. This car also on 20-inch wheels. And yeah, lower consumption today, shorter charging time. Yeah, no doubt in my mind, this car has gotten more efficient. Somebody commented in my motorway range test with this car, because also I got the same consumption basically with colder temperatures. People are like, no improvement in efficiency. Yes, most definitely improvement in efficiency. 1 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers less consumption in colder temperatures. That is impressive. Or else the car's like the same specs, same wheels, and yeah, just like the wheels or something else to spec differently. So yeah, that is pretty impressive. So guys, let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.